Hi, it's Bruce Pryor. I'm going to just run through real quick how to calculate cash flow for your single family rental property. So let's assume you found a house, it's in a nice neighborhood, you think you want to buy it, you're working with a real estate agent, or maybe you found it for sale by owner or something. So the first thing you need to do is calculate the rent. To come up with your cash flow, you're going to take your income minus your expenses. So your income is your rent. And how do you determine your rent? Well, you look on Craigslist, see what other people are advertising similar properties for, drive neighborhoods, call people who are renting out houses. You'll see for lease signs, for rent signs, call them, see how much they're renting. Make sure to pay attention to the number of bedrooms and bathrooms so you can get a comparable rent for the property you're interested in buying. Then you need to add up your expenses. Your expenses are going to be taxes, insurance, property management, maybe a little bit of maintenance throughout the year, and then if you're going to finance the property, you're going to have a mortgage. What we see is that the biggest expense, aside from any kind of mortgage, but the biggest annual expense is going to be taxes. You can find those out if you go to the county's website where your house is located. You can usually look up by address, figure out what the taxes are. You're going to have insurance. George and I at Priority Investment Group pay about $35 a month for insurance, but I think it'd be safe to figure $50 a month. And then we believe strongly in having a property manager take care of screening tenants for you, collecting your rent, managing your property. Those guys are going to charge you about 10%. And that's going to be 10% of your annual income. So in other words, if your rent is $900 a month, they're going to charge you $90 a month. We believe it's well worth the investment to have a property manager. And then obviously, if you're considering getting a mortgage, you need to add in that expenses. So you take all your expenses, add them together, and subtract them from your rent. And that'll give you a monthly cash flow. Then the next step, if you want to figure out your return on your investment, is you take that monthly cash flow, multiply by 12 months out of the year, and that'll give you an annual cash flow. Now here you might want to consider adding in some vacancy, because it's inevitable you're going to have some vacancy. If you had a year lease and then a month vacant and then another year lease, you're going to have 1 month out of those 24 months that's going to be vacant. So we usually figure about 5% vacancy or 95% occupancy. So you take your annual income and multiply by 0.95, and that'll give you your vacancy adjusted annual income. And then you divide that by the purchase price of your property, the cash you have invested if you have a mortgage, the cash you put down, and that'll give you your annual return. And we at Priority Investment Group like to look for neighborhoods where we can buy properties that have 15% annual cash flow minimum. That's our target. Some of our properties we have for sale have 20%, close to 20% annual return on our investment. We believe those are great properties to own. They provide strong cash flow and they're good long-term investments. So that's how you calculate your cash flow on a single family rental property.